Hello everyone and welcome back to another NASCAR Heat 5 video, part of the NASCAR Custom Championship season without the playoffs, where today we're going to be heading over to Phoenix Raceway. But before we do, I am going to go back into the settings and I will, at least for this race, change the grip fall off down to more grip once again. I am still determining which one I want to use, but specifically for this race, because it is a short track, I do want to use it because at least from what I remember in NASCAR Heat 3 and NASCAR Heat 4, the handling on short tracks is not necessarily that friendly. It kind of snaps left and right all the time. And I kind of think I'm going to need all the grip I can get because otherwise this might not go very well. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and jump into the race right now. Okay, so heading off into qualifying as I basically blew the engine coming out of neutral there. That's not a good start. I didn't make the car as loose this time as I have been on the actual speedways, mainly because since it is a short track, I do want to make sure that we're not sliding around too much. And because of that, we're going to be a bit tighter coming out of all the corners. That being said, I've also not raced the current layout of Phoenix Raceway in any NASCAR Heat game before because I didn't really play a whole lot of NASCAR Heat 4 to really use the new configuration. So it's going to take a little bit of me getting used to this. And I would not be surprised if this race didn't really go all that clean for us. For a second, I was looking down there at pit road, and I could have sworn that some of the other cars were about to come onto the track. I have no idea what got into me, but maybe I just imagined it. But we're going to come around, and this doesn't seem like a terrible lap. 20th place, okay. Right in the middle of the field, I think that's okay. That's probably about what I expect. I don't particularly see myself as a good qualifier on short tracks in any of these NASCAR Heat games. But we're going to see. The pole sitter is Kurt Busch, right ahead of Kevin Harvick. Okay, Kevin Harvick, very realistic for this track. And then you can see going down the field, we have Kyle Busch down in 8th place, Ryan Blaney in 11th, Ryan Newman in 6th, some of our competitors in the championship standings. And then, of course, you can look down all the way at the bottom just to see whoever your favorite driver is. And then, Baby Nemechek down last place. He's going to hope to try and get up some spots during this race. Okay, so kicking it off, I'm pretty sure this is the longest race so far. Actually, I know for a fact it's the longest race so far in terms of laps, although I'm saying that maybe a bit too preemptively. This is a 41-lap race, so actually it might not be. But, it's pretty short track, obviously, 1 mile. So I am going to try and cut it down on the apron here just to see if I can make up any ground early on in the race, just because I don't trust myself to be able to make up ground after the field gets spread out a little bit. Like I said, I'm not really all that great at short tracks in these games, mainly because I feel like the physics just don't go by what I would expect, because, they're not very realistic, and I'm used to racing short tracks and things like iRacing. So, all the excuses coming out early, but I would not get your hopes up too high for me trying to pull out like a top 5 or even a win out of this race. This is basically a try not to lose as many points as possible kind of event for us. That being said, we also see Christopher Bell going to our inside. Maybe I should be higher up on the line, maybe. See, I'm going into the corners a bit too deep, but if I try and break any more, I just lose all the ground up coming into the corner. I don't really know what it is. I'm still not really that great in terms of finding a balance. And it's been, like I said, really like 2 years since I've effectively played a lot of NASCAR Heat games, so I'm not entirely comfortable with the braking patterns yet. It's something I probably do need to improve on, as you'll probably see throughout this race. Okay, so maybe diving all the way down to the apron in turns, what are those, 1 and 2 now? Probably not the greatest idea, but we're not exactly falling back here. That's not probably what you'd want to say, considering I'm pretty sure I just saw Chad Fincham behind us, and I don't exactly want to be racing against Chad Fincham if I'm trying to go for a championship here. Not to say, Chad Fincham's not somebody that could win a championship, but I certainly don't think he could win a championship in whatever team it is that he drives for his car right now. Not to say anything bad about them, but they don't probably have the speed required. And we're trying to get on the tail of Joey Logano here. We're going to have to see what happens as the tire fall off starts to occur. Now that I do have more grip back on, this might actually be a really good example of maybe if all of the other AI fall off and I don't, maybe this isn't necessarily the settings that we want. But I'm not sure the settings I had in the last race were either the settings that I wanted because, we want the balance where we're all kind of falling off at the same pace so that's competitive throughout. We don't want either the AI or myself to have a distinct advantage at any stage of the green flag run, especially considering last race there wasn't a single yellow flag. It was green all the way through. And if the AI is able to keep it pretty clean, or I should probably say if I'm able to keep it pretty clean in a lot of these races, we're going to have a lot of green flag runs. We're going to have a lot of cars spread out throughout the field. We're going to want some competitive races. We don't want to just be playing follow the leader kind of like we are right now, or as, most of the cars are doing in real world. But, we're trying to create better racing than what we can see on TV every week. As we actually dive it down below Joey Logano, he's going to get the crossover here coming out of turn 4. Don't know where that came from. I did dive in there a bit much. Okay, I definitely pushed way too hard in that corner. That is my big issue with these games. I will definitely push into a corner too hard to try and get away from a driver, and then as a result, I will just reel them back in because they can just, you know, cut the corner in like you're supposed to. And then I'm just kind of slamming on the brakes as I am doing right now. These tires are probably screaming, but it's okay. We can deal with that later. 75% wear on the right front, obviously a bit tighter than the setups I have been running, but it is a short track and it's a very flat short track at that. So it's not going to have the exact same tire wear patterns as we've been experiencing at the previous races. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's another car up there with him, but on the mini map, it kind of looks like Kevin Harvick has just checked out, which, you know, realistic, probably one of the most realistic things I've seen in this game so far, is that he's just kind of spanking the rest of the field, and somebody's already DNF'd. I don't actually know who that is, but their day was done before lap 10, so that kind of sucks to see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably Kurt Busch or whoever the pole sitter was that's up there alongside Kevin Harvick, but I do see them kind of tailing him on the map. We are kind of reeling in Alex Bowman here. At the same time, Cole Custer trying to reel us in for 18th position. Okay, so I'm definitely getting a bit dirty with the fact that I'm diving into these corners below the apron, but you know what? That's kind of the only way I can really pull off these passes, as Cole Custer's got a huge run. I don't know where he's going. He's not going anywhere right now unless one of us gets out of the way. Okay, we're going to slide up into Bowman just a tad here, and we're probably going to get taken 3 wide by Cole Custer. Okay, he thinks better of it. Good job, because otherwise I can guarantee you one of us would probably not survive that. And I can't exactly tell you who that would have been. Ooh, I got a bit sideways coming into the corner that time. Ooh, okay, and then I kind of went a bit high after Cole Custer stuck his nose in there, sticking his nose where it does not belong. We're just trying to chase down Chase Elliott himself over here. Then again, as soon as we get past him, there's a big gap up to Kyle Busch up in 15th place. So we're not exactly looking to make up a ton of ground here, but we do want to at least get whatever points we can, because we don't know how these tires are going to handle here in a little bit. 26 laps to go before we have to pit. That actually gets us, wait a minute. That gets us to, I can do math, 40, lap 40? Uh-oh. Is this a race where you can make it without stopping? That is potentially the case. I feel like there's no way you can make it on tires though, right? I don't know. We're going to get to lap 20 or so and see what our tires are at. There's no way our tires are going to be above 50% then. I don't know. Hopefully the AI can't complete it either. But that's the closest one we've had so far, as, okay, I'm going to probably lose position here. Or at least have to fight for it. We keep getting very sideways coming into some of these corners. And that's my biggest issue, at least in these games, with the physics. It's that when you get on the brakes, the car really just wants to kind of fishtail no matter what. It doesn't matter what setup you have. It kind of just always does that. And it shouldn't really, like, you know, getting the brakes, like, you can have wheel hop and things like that, but it shouldn't just suddenly, you know, become uncontrollable no matter what you do. And some of that might just be the fact that I am using a controller, but it's been very prominent in this game, and it was far more prominent in the early NASCAR Heat games, where, especially on a short track, it was just not drivable. And we actually get a very good run on Chase Elliott there. All right, maybe I should coast through the corners as opposed to just always being on the brake or on the gas. That appears to be a much faster way to go about it. Let's also use the dog leg, since the AI doesn't cut it. I feel like that's another thing they could probably try and improve for NASCAR Heat 6. Make sure the AI actually cuts the dog leg, considering that's what they do in real life. And otherwise, you're kind of just shortening the track, whereas none of the AI are. So they're kind of playing by a different rule set than you are. Okay, so it's been a few laps. Cole Custer has also gotten around Chase Elliott, and he's hunting me down as I keep overdriving basically every corner, because whenever he gets close to me, I'm just focusing a bit too much on my rearview mirror, and as a result, I'm just making a lot of mistakes. So hopefully he doesn't get around us, but he's definitely showing that he's a lot faster, and I might actually save more time if I just let him around. That way I'm not trying to overdrive all the corners. And we are pulling ahead, or pulling away, I should say, from Chase Elliott. So you know what? I am going to go ahead, let Cole Custer by. Hopefully he doesn't actually hold us up now that I've done that. And see if maybe he can run down some of the cars ahead of us. Maybe he gets in a fight with them, slows them down, and maybe we can reel in Kyle Busch, since he is basically our biggest, I shouldn't say biggest title competitor, considering, okay, we're about to wreck Cole Custer once again. But Denny Hamlin's leading the championship. All right, so maybe Cole Custer's not actually that much faster than us. Also, I'm starting to realize that myself and Cole have kind of been in several altercations already so far throughout the season. Not the least to mention the one at Homestead, where we kind of just sent him to his death, and he somehow still managed to, you know, live to see another day. Okay, got a better run than us on the outside there. I guess we're just, you know, this is our purgatory. We're stuck here with the 41. We're not allowed to stop racing each other. I tried to get away from him. He pulled up to me. As soon as I let him by, he's still too slow, so I don't know. Maybe we'll somehow manage to reel in Kyle Busch while doing this. That would be pretty impressive. What the heck was that? Okay, I think that was Timmy Hill. He took like a 90-degree left-hand corner. And something's happening up here. Okay, I think this might be the AI being the AI, because we've gained like 2 seconds on Kyle Busch in the last lap and a half. So either they got held up maybe by Timmy Hill himself, or they're still being held up by some lap traffic. But I mean, Kevin Harvick's still way out there, so it looks like he's at least navigating him okay. But for all I know, maybe Timmy Hill blew an engine right in front of this pack, because we only gained like 3/10 on him this time. And Kyle Busch is trying to pass what looks to be a John Hunter Nemechek on the outside. Probably not the best place to do it. And there is another car blowing an engine in front of this pack. At least that's what it appears to be. I have no idea what that is. Is that Eric Jones? I don't actually know what's happening. I think it's Eric Jones, but he didn't pit. Okay, well, that's going to be a black flag probably. He's just holding up everybody. No, that's still Timmy Hill. I'm pretty sure Timmy Hill went to the pits, came out, and he's still got a blown engine. They're like, yeah, you know what? It's good. Just keep going. It'll keep running. He's kind of pulling a Jimmy Johnson in like the 2018, I think, Brickyard 400, where he was blowing an engine going down the backstretch with like 2 laps to go. Went for the lead. Kind of nuts to see. If it had held on, that would have been amazing. But Timmy Hill's doing the same thing, except he's like in last place. So he doesn't exactly have anything to gain. Don't really know what that's all about. Okay, so we have 14 laps of fuel, but only 29% left on the right front. I'm hoping the AI is also having issues with their tires, because otherwise I feel like there's a chance that there could be a handful of the AI drivers that managed to get through the entire race without pitting, because they might have been able to save a lap of fuel. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping we can start to see some cars come into pit road here in a second, because otherwise I'm going to drop in as soon as this thing gets below 20%. Because I don't trust myself to not continuously, you know, push it down like that. I go into a corner that hard and just drops on like 1% immediately, even 2%, as you can kind of just count it down with me. Okay, so we're looking to the inside of Jimmy Johnson and Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon is not having a good day, back in 37th. We overdrive the corner yet again, so Jimmy Johnson's going to get back below us. I do need to probably get ready to come in and pit, but I don't know if we're just going to be in a really bad spot here. We're going to have to hope that all the other AI also have to pit with us. Michael McDowell, Daytona 500 winner, 36th place, also not doing great. He's just going to continue to fall down the standings. And we now have the warning up for tires, so you know what, we're going to come in and pit next time by, if I actually remember how to do a proper pit entry here, which I probably don't, so you know, prepare to watch pure chaos unfold. Oh, saved. That, if it had come out a lap later, I would have been in trouble. All right, we're going to pit. I'm not going to bother repairing the damage. We're going to go ahead. We're going to put whatever fuel we need in half a can. You know what? We're only going to take right side tires. I'm going to do something bold. I'm going to hope this gives us some track position, and hopefully this isn't a terrible idea. Okay, we somehow lost 10 spots. I don't know how that happened. We lost 10 spots, and we don't even have 4 tires. Did some people not take tires? I'm thinking that could be the case. We have 9 laps to go here. All right, I'm going to try and get to the inside. If they didn't take tires, there's a good chance I can make up ground here. But this car is relatively unstable because the left front is very well worn. 49%. It should hold on very easily, but it's not going to be very happy by the time we get to the finish line. Ooh, okay, that's going to puncture a hole in the radiator or something. But Eric Jones kind of just slammed on the brakes in the middle of the corner. Kyle Busch is back here with us. So I'm kind of thinking maybe some cars actually stayed out. That is, okay, you know what? That is a possibility. If you had stayed out, you would have saved enough fuel to probably make it. And if the AI didn't have as bad tire wear as I did, they probably could have gotten away with that. But I'm hoping I can make up at least a few positions here, because this is not the kind of position we want or deserve, to be honest. I feel like we deserve at least a slightly higher position than this. 3 wide with Joey Logano and Kyle Busch back for like not even top 20. Not generally something you see them fighting for. Okay, yeah, this car is handling really weird. He really wants to shove to the outside on the exit of the corners. I don't know if that's necessarily because of the tire imbalance, or if I'm being a bit too greedy here and getting on the gas a bit early, as we're trying to look to the inside of Eric Jones and his teammates trying to look to the inside of us. Also, points leader Denny Hamlin currently leading the race. I basically just brake checked Kyle Busch, it looked like. But if Denny Hamlin wins this, he's going to be off to a very strong start. 2 wins in a row. And I'm not exactly looking at having two of the best races in a row. And I think not the next race, but the race after that, we go to Sonoma. I'm not expecting that to go well either. So you know what? We're going to have to hope we do very well at Auto Club and kind of redeem ourselves after this race and the last one. But I mean, there's still a few laps left. Maybe there's a chance I can make up some ground here. There's Chad Fincham somehow in the top 20. You can see he's on fire. That is definitely an on-fire race for that race team. Daniel Suarez, I would also say 18th position. Pretty respectful for that race team. Not exactly a top performing team from week to week. And we have made our way back up to just behind Chase Elliott. So we've basically got back to where we were before the pit stops with just a few laps left to go. I don't know if we can really catch that group of three up there, including our teammate Bubba Wallace. Hopefully that's what we can aim for. If we can get past them, then you know what? I think the pit stop would have been justified. I mean, not that there's really any option I honestly had. Because, I mean, if I didn't pit, we would be dead. Our right front would have exploded. There's no question about it. Chase Elliott is going to fight us for this. I'm going to dive in there. Should not have done that. All right, try to get on the gas early. We do actually manage to do it, and we're going to get a better run off the corner than he is, but we only have a few laps left to make up 1.5 seconds on good old Bobby Carter. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. having probably the best race of his season so far. And probably Bubba's best race of the season too. I don't actually remember where he finished in like the 500. But I know they definitely don't have him performing all that highly in this game. Okay, so we've just taken the white flag. We're not really gaining any time at all on Bobby Carter, Ricky, or Bubba. So unless they have some kind of altercation up here, it looks like, unfortunately, 17th place is going to be where we finish, which, I mean, that's okay. That's basically around where we were running before the caution came out. But not that ideal, as well as Denny Hamlin's going to pick up his second win in a row. So we're going to have to see where we shake out in the point standings here. He's kind of on a roll to start the season. Okay, so checking out the race results, you can see that Denny Hamlin did win ahead of Kevin Harvick. And I did take a look back at the replay setting that is in the game. And it turns out that Timmy Hill was actually spun out ahead of the leaders. And I think he had damaged Kevin Harvick's car, so that allowed Denny Hamlin to get the lead. And because of that, he can probably thank Timmy Hill for his win, as Kevin Harvick probably was going to dominate that entire thing otherwise. But you can look down through the rest of the field. Ryan Newman again with another top 10. Christopher Bell with his blurry 95 down 5th place. And then you can just kind of look through the rest. Darrell Wallace Jr. does beat us out, I think, for the first time this season in 14th place. Not bad for him. And then the biggest losers of the race, of course, Timmy Hill himself. 21 laps down. Nothing too unusual down here in the bottom 10, I can't really say. And then looking at the points after Phoenix, we can see that Denny Hamlin just extends his lead. He is now, 19 points up ahead of Ryan Blaney with 2 wins in a row, in fact. Kyle Busch down there 10 points below Ryan Blaney. Ryan Newman, Brad Keselowski, and then myself. Just kind of funny. Myself and Brad always competing in all these games, whether it's Wreckfest, NASCAR Heat 5. It's just a meme at this point. It just writes itself. And then I'll scroll down through the rest of the list so you can find out where your favorite driver is. Or if they're not, if for some reason, if they're like a part-time driver and they're not in the game, because that's just the way they did it. Michael McDowell disappointing everybody, down 28th place in points despite winning the 500. Can't really ask for a whole lot more. Timmy Hill with a tough break. Okay, yeah, I guess you could say that. He had a pretty rough day. But that will wrap it up for this video. If you guys have made it this far in and you have enjoyed, please consider leaving a like. It would help me out a lot. And just for a bit of fun, if you've made it this far also, leave a comment down below with what your favorite track currently on the schedule is, and also with what your favorite track is that's currently not on the schedule that you would like to see. Just kind of a small thing that came into my mind, because you can't currently add in custom seasons anyways. You can't customly add tracks that aren't part of the Cup Series schedule to the season, which kind of annoyed me because I would have liked to include some of those. But, you know, maybe they add that in a future patch, and then maybe I can use some of your guys' comments down below to actually configure this future seasons. But anyways, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.